evening, guys. So I've now got a few days off of work due to having worked the weekend, and I wanted to come and do another reading vlog, so that's hopefully what this video is going to be. So yeah, I've currently got my birthday haul uploading to YouTube, so fingers crossed that'll be done shortly because it's getting kind of late now. But I wanted to come and quickly show you the books that I'm planning to read over these couple of days. I want to try and make it more solely a specific reading vlog, but I've got books that I'm in the middle of that I need to kind of get through, so I'll quickly whiz you around and show you the books that I'm hoping to read throughout this time. So I'm currently reading 2 ebooks. The first one is The House on the Cerulean Sea. I think I'm about 85% done with that, so if I pick it up, it's actually my workbook, so I read it during lunch, but I swapped it out today for this other book that I'll tell you about in a minute. But if I pick it up, hopefully I can finish that, but if not, that's alright. It's not kind of my priority. I don't mind finishing that when I go back to work. But my kind of race against time book at the minute is this one, and it's Alone Together by Jennifer Haupt. She's kind of like compiled a load of essays, poems, interviews about the COVID experience and how to kind of stay connected, how to try and stay uplifted. It also talks about grief and everything related to this crazy time at the minute. I actually felt a bit pressured and race against time to read this because I noticed on my NetGalley shelf app that it said I only had 2 days left, but I don't remember actually like downloading it, and I thought it only started once you selected it to actually download it, if that makes sense, because it kind of appears on the app, but then you have to click it to read it and then it downloads properly. Anyway, I'm a bit confused with that, so I'm trying to like really quickly read it. I started it kind of late yesterday evening after work when I realised it. I've got quite a few titles that are like that, so I'm probably just going to miss out on the other ones. But anyway, yeah, I am on page 166 out of 288 pages of that, so 57% done. Hopefully I can get that done. I'm finding it quite enjoyable in terms of, oh, she really ever sits in there. Hello, so cute. I rarely ever see her in there. I'm always getting cute pictures from my boyfriend saying that she's sitting in it, but I rarely see her myself. Anyway, back to the books. Sorry, we just needed that cute cat interval. So yeah, I'm actually really enjoying it. It's quite easy to get through because it is, as I say, dotted through with poetry, essays, like short formatting pieces of work. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. The other books that I'm reading physically is Educated by Tara Westover. This one I am on page 274, and I think it's about 300 pages or so. So this one's really interesting. It's about a woman recounting her life growing up in a kind of fundamental Mormon household, but it's more about like how she sort of learned over time that her father was suffering with intense mental health issues, and kind of reflects on how that affected her upbringing and her upbringing of her siblings as well. But yeah, I'm really enjoying reading this. It's a weird one to say that I'm enjoying because obviously it's kind of a heavy topic, but it's interesting to learn about. And then the other 2 books I hope to start and finish, or maybe start at least one, is the next 2 books in the Wayward Children series by Shauna Maguire. So we've got In an Absent Dream and we've got Come Tumbling Down. And I believe the 6th book is coming out this year. I got these for my birthday, so hopefully I will continue on my reading vlog saga because I did a reading vlog for the first 3 books. So hopefully I can continue on that here in this vlog these next couple of days. So yeah, those are my reading plans, and hopefully the next thing I will check in with you is once I've hopefully finished Alone Together. I'm assuming it's going to stop at midnight, so we'll see if I can finish it by then. Fingers crossed, wish me luck. So it is 12:30 midnight, and I've just finished Alone Together. It didn't time out or anything, but I think it's because I kept on the page. I feel like if I went back to the main menu and then tried to click into it, shall I try? It wouldn't let me. But it still says 1 day left, to be fair. I don't know. Okay, so it'll probably time out maybe later on today. I don't know. Anyway, that is finished. I've decided I'm probably going to give it a 3.5 stars. I really liked it. I feel like I'm even though I felt rushed to reading it because I didn't want to not read this particular one before it expired. I'm glad that I still read it during this very COVID central time of our lives, because I feel like I got more out of it. Although in saying that, I do feel that had I taken the time to read this over say like a week or so, I would have gotten even more of a better experience out of it, just because I feel like some pieces, because I was literally reading it back to back to back to back, some pieces just blended a little bit. But that's just me, my own situation. I really liked it. I'll quickly tell you a few that I enjoyed in particular. I've included all of this in my Goodreads review, so feel free to follow me and look at my reviews to see like which ones to definitely look out for if you decide to read this yourself. We've got At Times Like This by Nikki Giovanni, David Sheff's A Beautiful Boy, Today When I Could Do Nothing by Jane Hirschfield, State of the Art, State of the Union by Devi S. Lashkar, Pam Houston's Stamina Memorial Day Weekend 2020, and We Wear the Mask by W. Ralph Eubanks. So yeah, I'm happy that I managed to finish that. I think honestly now I'm gonna finish my gin and then I'm gonna go to bed. I got this gin from my boyfriend's dad, right? And you can't tell now because it's all like settled and swirled because I've been, no, it's not settled, it's mixed in because I've been drinking it, but it's like glittery and magical and beautiful. So yeah, I'm gonna just finish that and then probably watch YouTube videos until I fall asleep. But as I say, I haven't got work tomorrow or the next day or the next day, so I don't mind going to bed this late. I'm usually like a 9 PM kind of girl. So I'm struggling, but I was engrossed so much in that book that I don't feel as tired as I could have been had I just been sitting there mindlessly watching telly or something, you know what I mean? So yeah, I'll probably catch you at some point tomorrow, and we can see whether I start a new book or whether I try to finish Educated or what the situation is. I really need to wash my hair too, so perhaps I'll do that tomorrow. I don't know. I have some new products that I want to try out, and I think I want to do a video for, a separate video for. We shall see how the day unfolds, and of course most importantly what time I naturally wake up, because let's be honest, I probably won't roll out of bed until like 12 midday. Maybe later, I don't know, we'll see what happens. My voice is getting super husky. I need to go to bed, bye. Truthfully, I've more or less just got up within the last 10-15 minutes or so, because I've like done my skincare, all that sort of stuff, and I have had the weirdest conversation. Let me just pop the kettle on real quick and I will tell you said conversation. So I've just recently taken part in another one of those book sharing exchange kind of things that was going around. This time, yeah, it was on Instagram, and I took part in one a couple of months ago and I didn't receive a book, but it was still nice sending some random person a book who I've since like followed on Instagram. She's called Bound by Books and she's really nice. So I was like, let me try it again, because somebody else had posted one, and this girl I'd gone to see Ransom Riggs in Conversation with a couple of years ago, or I'd met her there for the first time and she seemed nice. Like I met her randomly and we started to talk, you know. Anyway, so I thought, oh, let me see if I can get involved again and maybe hopefully receive some books back. And this one's more aimed at like, so the one before that, you shared your wish list and someone picked a book off that, but this one was like more, and that was just UK based. This one's more like internationally, and they can send you their favourite book, so hopefully you don't have that book already, but it's just nice to kind of see other people's favourite books and stuff, especially if it's like spread over the world. So I'm hoping to get something back for that. But anyway, so the person that I got, I sent it like directly to them through the site rather than me receiving it and then sending it on again. And I've just put my number on it because I didn't know the girl's number. I just had her name and address, and I was like, okay, let me just choose a favourite book and send it. And I'm sitting on the loo and Amazon calls, so I'm like, hello, and no introduction, no is this blah blah blah. It's just like I can't find, and then the line of the address. And obviously I had just woken up, so I didn't know, I couldn't really understand what he was saying because he's saying it so quick, but also all I could hear is this unfamiliar sentence. So I was like, I don't really know what you're talking about. And he keeps going on, he's like, yeah, I'm sort of stuck between two houses, I don't know which is which. And first of all, I'm thinking, I know it's COVID, but surely you could just knock on the door, step back and say, could you please help me, I don't know where I am, right? Anyway, or even if you see people at work, I don't know. Obviously the first instance is to call the person's number that's on the tracking thing, right? I get that. But secondly, after I'm saying, like, I don't know what you're going on about, he probably thought, what are you talking about, this is your address, right? And then I'm thinking, like, what I said, like, as I said, what does the name say? Because it's slowly coming to me as I'm waking up more that this is probably for that girl. He says, oh, is your name? And then he says the girl's name, and I'm like, oh no, sorry for the confusion. Basically, I've sent the book straight to her. I don't know her number, so I've just used my number, but I don't think I can help you. And he said, oh, okay, have you ever been to this area? I said, no, I don't know the location, you might have to just like find someone else, I'm really sorry. And I said, yeah, I've just like sent the book, I just, whatever, I've sent the order straight to her, rather than me to her, if that makes sense. And he was like, oh, I understand, so I'm really sorry, like I was well confused, I didn't know what he was going on about. So yeah, hopefully he's found the location, hopefully he's just knocked on someone's door, stepped back and asked, like, do you know, is this like your neighbour, do you know where they are, blah blah blah. So that was a confusing start to begin with. The first confusing point was that I kept falling back to sleep, but then Elsa kept waking me up and doing something, so I was in and out of sleep, and that's probably why I didn't get out of bed until like near enough 1, to be honest. And now I'm just like, I'm so exhausted, like having worked all these days in a row. I just feel so tired. My body like is bone ache, if you know what I mean. So I can't even be asked to go outside and do anything. I was gonna have a later start to the day anyway in terms of heading out, so I just don't want to leave it too late to decide, because I do need to go into town and pick up some bits. And if I'm going to my grandparents to do, basically I need to wash my nan's hair. Really, we've got this shower cap thing, her mobility's not as good as it used to be and she's struggling, so my auntie got one of these. It's the everyday cleaning shampoo cap, and I'm just curious to see how it works, because it says it's all in the cap but there's no mess, and how do you know that the hair's actually clean? So I just want to see it in action, and so I need to do that, but I was going to leave that on till later on in the day anyway, and then like plait up her hair and moisturize it and stuff like that. So I don't know when that's going to happen, and to be fair, I've got the next 2 days off after this, so I can do it whenever, but I kind of wanted to time it properly with going to town, if you know what I mean, because I'd rather not make 2 trips, because I need to go through town to get to my nan's anyway, if you know what I mean, and that's just too much bus fare to do like 2 times. I also need to pick up Elsa's worming and fleeting, which I can do at any point, so I might be able to push it off to the weekend. And yeah, I just need to get new work shoes. I need, but tomorrow as well, it will also delay me because I was going to dye my hair again. I might just wash it like normal, so that can be done anytime I feel. But tomorrow I've got like an awkwardly timed placed food delivery, so if I go out before, it's like at between 2 and 3 I think. If I go out before, then I'm rushing back trying to get back in time, and I already did that a couple of weeks ago and I nearly missed it. I just don't like to keep people waiting when things are booked, you know. And then if I go out after, then it's already going to be delayed, because I'm going to have to rush around the shops first, and then it's going to get done. Do you know what I mean? Like, and then Wednesday I've got a randomly placed like middle of the day phone call appointment thing that's about an hour. So it's just these things that today is really the optimum day that I should do it, because nothing else is going on, and I can take my pace and do what I want. But I just feel so tired, like my body, like I get up and I'm like, oh, crackling, and yeah. So what I think I'm gonna do for now is just have a cup of tea, burn a candle and read for a bit, and then think on it. I also see when my boyfriend will get up. He works nights, so it's understandable that he's asleep still, but he said he wanted to make waffles for breakfast, so obviously I'll have to wait to eat, so that's another thing. So we'll see what time he gets up, and then I see how I'm feeling in terms of going out. To be fair, I could just push off town. I also need to get my new glasses, that's also why I need to go to town, and they were due Saturday past, but obviously I was working. So I was going to say I could push off getting my shoes until this coming Saturday. There's just no point, I should just do it all together. Do you see my dilemma and my conundrum? I should just go today, shouldn't I? I really should just go today. we'll see what happens. Oh god, let's make a cup of tea.
Invincible.
So I've decided to go out today rather than wait any longer. It's a nice day for it, and I can just tell that probably the weather will be bad, or I'll feel even worse over the next coming days, so I'll just do it now. So I'm finally back home. I feel like I've been out forever, and I wasn't really, well, to be fair, I thought it was going to take longer than I expected, and then it wasn't taking too long, because I ended up doing all my errands in the end. I've got my new work shoes. They're pretty boring, but I'll show you anyway. It's just something that keeps my feet comfortable. I can easily slip them on and off, just these things. And I got my new glasses, and I went to my nan's and did her hair like I said I was going to, and it looks really cute. I'll show you like a little picture of how it came out. So she's got like grey hair with like a little bit of tint left in it from when she used to dye it, bless her. So I've done just little twists after I like washed it and moisturised it and stuff, which is really cute. And yeah, so my glasses, the buses were just taking forever. I think there's a lot of road works and something might have happened, so I was waiting, like when I actually got back into town to then get the bus home, I was waiting for almost an hour, but I'm home now, I can relax. Anyway, as for glasses, so as a little comparison, these were my old glasses. I'll probably still wear them because apparently the prescription's not too different, but as you can see, the shape is very square. I've gone completely different this time round. So these are my normal glasses, and then my old sunglasses, I've got two. I've got another red pair which are more square, but these ones are more circular. So again, these are my older ones. As you can see, they're a little bit wonky from wear and tear. And as for new spectacles, I got these funky cases that came with them. So I got these as my everyday glasses. I changed it up for Still hopefully a big frame, but more circular. And they're red. I haven't had like colourful normal like daily wear glasses since I was like a kid. I think my last pair was like a blue pair years ago. But yeah, I've just been getting like black frames or dark, maybe like tortoiseshell frames for the last couple of changes. But if you look closely, you can see it's like a deep red colour. I love how thick the frames are at the end, and I love them even more now having them than when I tried them on, because I was umming and erming, and the lady suggested these ones over a different one, and I kind of wanted the other one, but they had like really thin sides. I'm crying about it apparently. But I am absolutely in love with these ones. So these, complete different shape for everyday wear, but I love how they drop down into that oval shape. And I know I've got more of like a circular face, so it probably doesn't complement as much as the other ones, but I really like them. And then for new sunglasses, these are giving me Willy Wonka vibes. Like, so these have got the dark tortoiseshell, I think is kind of the style, with a bit of gold in there and cream and like a navy blue. And aren't these the funkiest? I'm still kind of getting used to them, but they're totally like my sort of thing. They're very different, so shall we say. The lady that was doing my like eye consultation was saying that I suit different, basically. Not so much those words, she just says that I can get away with it the way like my style is, I guess. And yeah, I really like them. They're polarized, and I think I asked for the brown tint, yeah, so it looks kind of sepia. And polarized kind of makes it like really clear and crisp, because with the tint it diminishes it, so it makes it like you're looking like through normal glasses, but the regular sunglasses tint. So yeah, I'm really happy. And it's like, I guess that's like the anti-glare or whatever. It helps reduce headaches because you're not getting the glare come in and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I'm really very happy with my glasses. So now I think I'm gonna go and film my October TBR. I just felt like I wanted to film it like all of a sudden last night. So I think I'll do that now. I've selected some books that I'm hoping to read. And yeah, my boyfriend, bless him, he's gone to work now, but he made us shepherd's pie, so I'll probably have some of that after that video. So yeah, I'll catch you in a little bit. Oh, and I was reading a little bit on the bus. I am now page 300 in Educated by Tara Westover, and I'm still very much enjoying it. She's pretty much at the part now where she's talking about her university education, and how she feels about becoming this person that she feels she almost has no right to be, like she doesn't belong. It's very interesting, so hopefully I can finish that today. You know those nights when it's nearly midnight and you've got to put on 21 Pilots and just have a random tidy up? Well, tonight is one of those nights, so I've just done a little random bit of rearranging because this random spark of knowledge just burst into my mind, and I thought, this will make more sense. So let me just quickly spin you around. Sorry if you see any messes. But we had our laundry our laundry basket in this little walk-in cupboard where we keep our towels and stuff, and I just thought we kind of just chuck our clothes on the floor anyway, because we can never be asked to keep going in the cupboard and putting it in there. So I know we're dirty people. No, we're not really. It's just convenient. We just kind of leave it on the bathroom floor or put it in the washing machine. But I just feel like, no, we've got this laundry basket, use it. So I thought, instead of that, let's have a switch around. So we always keep toilet paper and like kitchen roll and stuff in here, and it looks like I don't really hoard. This was just when I honestly just don't know. I've had these for a while, and I sometimes forget to look at my stock, and I just like my stock and I just buy on top of. So we've got kitchen roll, toilet paper. I swear I'm not one of those people like stock buying. This is just how it's mounted, because my boyfriend's dad got like deals and he gave us some, and then I just forget to check. Anyway, that's besides the point. So originally the litter tray stuff in that box that you just saw with newspaper, which is what I lined the litter tray with, was here. But I've decided to move all that in and just keep the litter out that I'm currently using, and a spare one, because that one's nearly finished, out next to the litter tray, and pop this over here. So I guess, I don't know if I can do it one-handed because it's kind of heavy. This is how it'll be looking. I'll double check my boyfriend, see if he doesn't mind having our dirty clothes all on show. But I think it'll just make more sense, because as I say, like, we've got piles of dirty clothes there, and there somewhere we just can't be asked to remove all the litter stuff and wrench that open, and even when we do, sometimes we just chuck it in there, and obviously it's still got the lid on, so the dirty drawers and dirty socks just go on the floor. So yeah, I think I've just made more of a nice utilising of space, and all the litter stuff doesn't have to be like on the shelf, because that's not the prettiest sight, and I feel like this little laundry basket is better looking. Not that we have anybody around, but yeah, I hope my boyfriend's as chuffed as my random late night tidying shenanigans as I am. If not, I'm gonna be vexed. Okay, this was great. I have just finished Educated by Tara Westover, and ignore the fact that I've got soda cream on my spots here. It works wonders, honestly. This was phenomenal. It's shocking that this is a memoir, a recount of someone's lived life, and it just makes it that more, I guess, impressive and impactful and powerful that Tara has managed to like pull herself up, get herself the education she deserved and desired, and also kind of not necessarily get answers, but go through the motions of this life, of her family, of this fundamentalist kind of mindset, the end of days, how that was in turn, you know, triggered by mental ill health, how that affected the family's upbringing, the siblings, the physical abuse in this, how that was, you know, justified, and she was led to believe she was being delusioned, that perhaps she was remembering things wrong. Like, it was all so well put together. It's really weird to say I enjoyed this, because obviously, you know, the fact is that this is a horrible story. There's some horrible things, a lot of horrible things that Tara had to overcome, as well as other people in her life, you know, regarding the upbringing of her mum and dad and everything like that, and what she lived through and how she managed to get out. But I enjoyed the writing of it. I feel like Tara Westover is very deserving of her doctorate. She has a wonderful way of like storytelling and building this history, even though she does say that, you know, it's perhaps unreliable, because there is a few instances of a few stories where people remember different things, of people being there and some people not being there, and it's just very confusing. So she does try her best to kind of fact check and tell the other side of the story of how it's differently remembered. So she doesn't sort of give you this, I would say, even though it's her recounting her life, and you do obviously see, you look at people in a certain way, I would say she tried to be as non-biased as possible, because she's constantly questioning herself, you know, doubting herself, which is a horrible thing to feel, but in that way you see her reflecting on other things. You know, she's not just saying, I had a horrible upbringing, my father's this, my mother's that, my siblings are this. You know, she's sort of talking you through the process of how things affected them, and, you know, possibilities. And it was just amazing the way it was written. The story in itself is crazy. Like, I feel, I don't mean this in an insensitive way, but I feel like a movie could be made of this and it would be very impactful. I feel like obviously it'd be very difficult, and I'm not saying it should be made, you know what I mean, for her to sort of see and perhaps relive, but I feel like, wow, it might reach more of an audience. This story might reach more of an audience in that way. I just think it's an important story to tell, really. And yeah, I have so much respect for Tara Westover for becoming what she became, you know, and wow, being the person she is, I guess. This was amazing. Yeah, so 5 stars for sure. I am now going to make myself something to eat, because I'm getting a little bit ravenous, not gonna lie. And yeah, we'll see what the day takes us after that. Not sure if I've checked in with you guys yet for this current read. So earlier on I picked up In an Absent Dream, which is book 4 in the Wayward Children series by Shauna Maguire, and I am on chapter, what chapter am I on? Using my new bookmark, I love it. Chapter 6 and page just under, what am I, 73, page 73, something like that. So I'm like a third of the way in. I probably won't finish it today, but I'm enjoying it so far. I'm sort of just getting into the world. So first of all, if you don't know what the Wayward Children series is about, I've done a reading vlog. I think it's more spoilery on the first 3 books if you're interested. This one I'm going to probably keep less spoilery, but the series in a general is about this school that houses children that have found themselves in magical worlds and fallen back into our reality. And this school specifically focuses on children who's pretty much like depressed and trying to go back to their world, whether the world's like kicked them out or they've accidentally stumbled back out or whatever. And it's almost like, I always say, and I think it's usually like references this, what if Alice wanted to go back to Wonderland or whatever and they couldn't? It's kind of like that, like what happens after, you know, the repercussions of how parents and peers see her or them in general, if they're not believed, you know. It takes more of like a real issues surrounding that, and kind of like some of these worlds are very like intense, but the children, it was their world, the door opened for them because it kind of harmonized with their personality and kind of what they were craving and what they weren't getting from normal Earth, I guess. So yeah, this is the 4th book in the series. Every other book is basically like a prequel. So as you meet characters in the more linear linear storyline. You learn a little bit about what worlds they fell into and trying to go back, and a little bit about their personalities. And so every book in between, it focuses on one of those characters and their story. And I think this is like one of those prequel books. We're following a character called Lundy, who is I guess not a main character but an important character in the first book, and it's about her world. And this one's more like in the past. I think it's in the 60s, yeah, 1964. And so yeah, we're seeing what her life's like, why she's got thrown into this world. This world is about the goblin market. So it's just me getting a feel for it. There's a lot of rules to the goblin market, and it's a kind of idea that I'm not as familiar with. I know this is one of the worlds that is an actual, like, there's stories about goblin markets already, whereas with the other stories I feel like they are mostly kind of made up or take some symbolism loosely from like fairy tales and stuff. But this I know for sure is, I think there's a poem about the goblin market, and you know, there's stories rolling around that already. So it's one that I'm actually not familiar with, and just kind of learning the rules. I'm wondering if it's the rules specifically made for this book, or if it's the rules of the goblin market sort of fable in general. And there is a lot of rules, so it's interesting to learn that. I feel like as I come into step a little bit more understanding, I'll enjoy it a lot more. But so far I am enjoying it. It's just kind of a lot of getting back into this world. Well, not even this world, because I haven't visited this world yet, but getting back into the general world of the Wayward Children. So I've just had my dinner. I think right now I'm probably gonna run a bath. Yeah, I want to use one of my new Lush products, so we can use something together, I guess. I might use the Mermaid product, and I'll probably film a little bit of that, so if you guys want to have a little look. I think it's one of their October releases. And then probably read some more in the bath. But for now, before I get to that stage, I'm just probably going to watch a little bit of YouTube, finish my tea, and yeah, relax. My boyfriend's just gone off to work now, and so I'm just going to, you know, chill out for the evening and take my time pottering about, doing what I want to do. I've already done like a load of laundry. There's some washing up that needs to be done that I'll probably do a little bit later. Yeah, just another chill evening, which is what we like for those days off. So I'll catch you probably when I'm running a bath, so you can see what products magic potions that I'm putting in there. So yeah. So bath and everything like that is nice and done, over with. I'm clean, I'm refreshed, I'm also relaxed. That Lush bath thing was really nice. It smells, I think I talked about this in my haul where I featured it. It smells like citrusy but also kind of lavendery, so it gives you like this relaxed sensation whilst also feeling refreshed, which is really nice. And I noticed at the end of the bath, when I got in the bath, sorry, at the bottom of it, there was still some in there, so I just crumbled more in, like, and probably swished it around, because I did it higher up than I would usually do it. I'd usually crumble it all by the tap, so I don't know what happened. But yeah, that was nice. I just wanted to come and give you an update, whilst I pour myself a Malibu, of the book and the progress so far. Again, that is the In an Absent Dream, and you're totally going to see the mess that is the kitchen at the minute. It's not even that bad, but there's definitely dishes that still need to be done. So yeah, I just wanted to let you know that I'm now kind of understanding, hold on, let me put you down a second, this is such an awkward angle. I'm now understanding more of the logic behind the goblin market. and because I'm understanding it more and getting to grips with it now, I feel like I can appreciate it a little bit more. And I not too long just did like a Goodreads update, but basically saying the same thing. And I just find that it's very clever and interesting how everything has like fair value and what that means. And I've just learned like the consequences of owing like debt and how it racks up and racks up, as we've just seen a character that has a lot of debt, and how it sort of, I guess, like, I want to say transformed her, but I don't want to say any more than that. How it's changed her is what I mean, like what the debt actually means in this goblin market, in this world. And it's so interesting, so I'm like properly invested now, because I want to see how that kind of develops later on in the story. And basically with the goblin market, I just want to give you a bit of background without spoiling. You learn very early on that with that particular world, the door comes and goes to make sure that you're sure, and so Lundy's already gone back to her real, like, usual reality and come back again, and there was a reasoning why she left, and I kind of want to know more about that storyline, but it seems like we're teased at it quite a lot, so I'm hoping that that develops as well, and that we learn what actually happened and why. And like, I don't know, I don't want to know. Obviously from reading the first book and stuff, if you've read it, you know what happens to Lundy and her story after the fact, so I just want to see how it all builds up. And that's what I love about these, like, I don't know, like these alternate prequels that they do with this series. It's just fascinating seeing how, like, the present day and then going back in time and seeing what led to that. I'm absolutely loving it. So yeah, all positive stuff so far. I'm probably just gonna chill out again, watch some more YouTube, and dip in and out of In an Absent Dream for the rest of the evening until I get tired, or until I feel like I should go to bed.
Here we go.
Invincible.
Hi guys, so I ended up doing my hair today. I washed it with some new products. I have done a whole video on that if you're interested. I'll put it in the cards when it's available to watch. But as for, completely just chucked my book on the floor. But as for reading progress, I am still reading In an Absent Dream and I'm currently on chapter 12. I've got about 50 pages or less and I'm really liking it. One thing that I will say that's kind of bothering me though is I find that basically, as I've mentioned briefly, the doors open quite a few times for the Goblin Market to make sure that you're sure that you want to stay there. So obviously Lundy has gone back and forth a few times, but I find that whenever she comes back to the world of her birth, it always is some dramatic thing that she's left and you kind of just hear the hints of it, the tease of it, but it doesn't actually tell you or show you the action that caused her to return. And so far it seems to never really go back to that and explain it, so it's so frustrated in that way because it's saying all these amazing adventures happened, but it was devastating and so she returned, or she was sad and so she returned, but you never get to see that in actuality, which is obviously annoying. So that's the one gripe I have with this world so far, but I'm thinking this is probably leaning at a 3.5 to 4 stars. I am very much enjoying it. I still feel, because of that first like love and awe that I got when I first started the series, in that regard I'd say that the first book is still probably my favourite, but I am still so enjoying this series. Yeah, I think this is one of the more favourite books I think so far that I've read. It's only the one about Jack and Jill that I didn't enjoy as much as the others, but I still enjoyed it, if you know what I mean. This one, I would say in a ranking, it's book 1, then book 3, then book 4, and then book 2 so far that I'm liking, so in that sort of order. So yeah, I'll probably just check in now after I've finished it, and hopefully get started with Come Tumbling Down later on today. We're still doing good for time. I've not really got any other plans for today except for this phone call appointment thing, and yeah, check in with you in a bit. I have just finished In an Absent Dream. I very much enjoyed it overall. I think it is settling on a 4 stars. It's sad because, you know, most of these stories end bittersweet, just from the tone and then obviously from like the story that you know prior to like coming to these doors and stuff. But even so, it's just like it hits you some type of way. But yeah, I really enjoyed learning about Lundy's story and her door and the Goblin Market and the strange and wonderful way that it worked, the consequences of sort of not following the things properly or taking too much, and it was just amazing. Very magical, very sinister in that regard as well, and sad, and yeah, I very much enjoyed it. So I'm now going to, at some point, start Come Tumbling Down. This vlog's definitely gonna carry on over because I'm back at work tomorrow, but I'm thinking I'll probably just pick these up and give you my updates until I finish at least this book. I might squeeze in a few more, we'll see. But yeah, so next book is Come Tumbling Down. Let's see who this one is about. In theory now it should go back to the more linear storyline. Technically is linear, I guess, but it's not in Eleanor's home for wayward children, so that's interesting. It continues the story of Jack and Jill. I feel like that might be a fan favourite, and it's a bit annoying because, not that they're my least favourite characters, but as I said earlier, the story of them on the moors is my least favourite book, and so now this would be like the 3rd book we've had about their door and their world, and I would personally either favour other characters or want to learn more about new characters introduced rather than keep going back to Jack and Jill, but we'll see. I'll probably still enjoy it. I hope I still enjoy it. I don't know, it's just the moors are so bleak, and not dull but bleak and like dark with everything else. I think I'm drawn more to like the colourful, vibrant, weird and wacky worlds rather than this. So that's probably why I have this kind of, not disconnect, but you know, preference I guess for the others, but we'll see how I think of this one. Super random because I know I've not really spoken about it much, but I'm home from work now. I've been home for a few hours and I've just come out of the bath, but before I came out of the bath I finished The House in the Cerulean Sea by, is it T.J. Klune? It was amazing. I gave it 5 stars. I'll probably talk more about that in my actual September wrap up because I've not really featured it too much in this vlog, but I've been reading it for probably like at least a month, and even though it took me that long, it was just like my lunch reading book. I loved every moment of it, so yeah, definitely a 5 stars. So now I'm gonna go. I was hoping to finish both of these books in the bath, but it was getting kind of cold and my boyfriend went to the bath after me, so I'm like, yeah, I'm being a bit selfish, let me get out. But I had a nice bath, another lush one. So I'm gonna go and finish this whilst he's in the bath before we have our dinner. And this is of course Come Tumbling Down, the 5th installment in the Way with Children series. I am on page 184 and it's only like 206 pages left. I read a little bit more before work today because I had a later shift. I started at 11, but I almost didn't want to finish it then and be like pushing before I left the house, because then I wouldn't like take the time to do my review. I always get this way, like I kind of hate finishing a book. Like even though I was 97% done when I was at work, my break ended, but I hate the rush of being at break or just before I'm leaving the house finishing something, because I'm like, oh, I need to get my thoughts down now and then reflect or whatever and update it if things change. But yes, I'm gonna finish this now and then I'm gonna have some dinner, and I don't know if I might end the vlog there or maybe tomorrow, we'll see. Depends what else I pick up. I feel like I want to read some of the Tor short original stories because I've been looking on there. I've been really getting into Tor now, seeing as I like this publication for these books. I'm seeing what else they've got. So I'll see maybe if I fancy a short story, but I know like with dinner and stuff we're going to be watching The Strain. I don't know if I told you guys about that, but we're currently watching The Strain, which is Guillermo del Toro's like TV show about basically like vampires, but it's so scientific, it's really cool. I feel like I've already spoken about this, I might be wrong. So I don't know if I'm going to read that, those short stories. They're like 20 pages long, and it's all like free on the Tor website, but you can buy them as well if you want to. So we'll see. I might come back to you guys later and wrap it up, or I might come back to you tomorrow and wrap it up and just let you know if I did pick up those books at some point tonight or tomorrow morning. So yeah, I'm looking forward to finishing this. I'm very excited. The stakes are high. Okay, I hope you can hear me clearly. I'm awkwardly placed on the floor because I've got my camera charging, and the leads are not long enough to like sit up on the sofa and do it. But good afternoon guys, I just wanted to pop in here and say that I'm probably going to keep this vlog going to at least tonight or tomorrow. I'm so indecisive, I know, but last night in terms of reading I managed to finish Come Tumbling Down, which I ended up giving it 4 stars, and I really did enjoy it. I think this is the Jack and Jill arc storyline which I've enjoyed the most out of their character arc, and yeah, I really did like it. I'll talk more about it in my wrap up. And then I decided to go on, like I said, I've got everything charging at the minute, with one of those Tor short stories. So let me show you which one I read. So I read, oh god, this is so awkward. I read, oh god, I've clicked off of it now. Solution by Brian Evanson, and this one was really interesting. I think it was only like 20 pages. I think that's roughly how short they generally are, but this is my first one reading their like original content short stories on Tor, and it just says here as the description: as climate change wreaks havoc on the earth and the fate of humanity grows dire, a scientist makes a plan to save humanity that would shame the devil. And yeah, it took like the concept of climate change and what it could excel to me, it felt realistic. It was extreme, but not extreme enough that it didn't feel plausible, but also extreme enough to make it an entertaining read, you know. I actually feel like it could have been even more interesting and more fleshed out had we had like a longer story, particularly when focusing on our narrator's like life and his fails and his failures and successes in this solution, because he's making like something to save humanity, and it is quite warped and dark and twisted when you find out what it is and what it does to the human body, and not just the human body but other species as well. But yeah, and just knowing more about that in itself, the actual solution, taking time to kind of see the horrors of it, but see what also he's trying to achieve with humanity would be amazing. But as a short story on its own, I really did enjoy it. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. So yeah, I think I'll probably pick up another one of those short stories at some point today and just go through a few of those, maybe, hopefully. I do have to go out today, but when I come home later, if it's not too late, I think I want to start editing either this vlog and get that done depending on what I feel, or another video and put it out hopefully tonight. So we'll see what happens, but right now I'm just going to leave this to continue charging, have my cup of tea and continue watching some YouTube videos, I think. So I'll catch you. So I more or less just got home. Whilst I was at my boyfriend's dad's house, I started this one, another one of the tour's short stories, and it is Hearts in the Hard Ground, which looks like that. It's another stunning cover, and I think for that I'm just gonna talk about that when I come and do my September wrap up. So yeah, I'm just gonna start editing now. I think I might edit my October TBR and then settle in for the night, watch some more of The Strain probably. Yeah, I had a nice day. It's a late start, but we mooched around in town as well, got a few bits and pieces, a few more books, so probably another book haul coming shortly, and that's it. Yeah, so I hope you've enjoyed this long vlog. Definitely longer than I was expecting it to be, but I think I've got some good content in there for you guys. Read a lot of stuff, really happy with the amount that I've read. I think I finished off 2 books that I was in the middle of. I started and finished 2 books in a series. I started a short story and finished it, and I've started another short story which I'll finish probably later tonight or tomorrow, whatever, depending on how I feel. So yeah, some awesome reading time here and some awesome vlogging too. So yeah, enough of that now. I will speak to you in another video soon. Bye.